Hey, what's up guys, it's Aka Milkshake here. Now today I'm gonna be talking about retrofits. So currently we do have quite a number of ships that can be retrofitted and they require a lot of resources to do so. I'm sure y'all by now know some of the more better retrofits like the starters, Saratoga, Despacito, our true Lord and Savior, and so on and so forth. So here are some of the other retrofits that I think are really worth the resources despite their rarity. Okay, so let's move to the dock, and the first ship is Leander Retrofit. Okay, now I did mention this in my review video, so do check that out. But in short, she is really oil efficient, she has amazing firepower, she also does have amazing weapon efficiencies, and she can increase the survivability of your escort fleet. I also forgot to mention in my review video that she is from the Royal Navy, so she can receive the amazing buff from Queen Elizabeth. So yeah, overall, Leander Retrofit is super solid. Please do not dismiss her because she was once a common ship. Additionally, she doesn't require a lot of resources to retrofit. So yeah, Leander is really worth it. Okay, so now moving on to the next ship, and that is Fortune Retrofit. Do you have trouble surviving, especially your main fleet? Then you cannot go wrong with Fortune. You know, initially I kinda hated her retrofit art because she looks rather like cross-eyed, but the more I look at it, I guess it's alright. I still don't get why she's in chains though. But anyway, let's look at her skills. Now her first skill is called Emergency Maneuvers. Every 20 seconds, 30% chance for this ship to evade all enemy attacks for 6 seconds. Now this may not seem like much, but have you seen her evasion stat? It is insanely high at 249 at level 120, which is the top 3 evasion stat among all of the destroyers in the game thus far. So her already high evasion stat plus 30% chance to evade all attacks for 6 seconds makes it super hard for her to die. So yeah, she does have very high survivability. After retrofit, she does gain a new skill called Flank Defense. While this ship is afloat, decreases the damage your main fleet takes by 15%. This does not stack with the same skill. This is really good. Because of how hard it is for her to die, your main fleet can receive this buff pretty much the entire time. So it is really good, especially in PvE, because once your flagship dies, it's game over. Other than evasion, everything else like firepower, torpedo, health, sure, they are not the best. Actually, her health and torpedo stat is on the lower spectrum, but she's not designed to be a damage dealer. She's more of staying alive and just keeping your main fleet alive, which is really useful, especially when tackling higher difficulty maps. Alright, moving on to the third retrofit, and that's Portland Retrofit. Portland Retrofit art is by far one of my favorite retrofit arts in the game so far. I seriously do not like her default art one. Like, I seriously do not like this. It's so bad. Like, it's an instant turn off whenever like I get her from construction, whenever I see this art, but don't let that fool you, okay? Because her retrofit is actually one of my most sought after retrofits, and here's why. The amount of health she gains from retrofit is a lot. Like her health pool for mid 4000 becomes 5000 plus at max level. This puts her at the top 6 heavy cruisers with the largest health pool in the game so far. The rest above her are either super rare, priority, or rainbow ships. So yeah, she is really up there in terms of health. Her anti-air is also really good with a max stat of 260 at level 120, which is the top 5 anti-air stat among all of the other heavy cruisers in the game so far. She also does have a 135% efficiency for her anti-air gun. So yeah, really solid anti-air for a heavy cruiser. Now both her survivability and her anti-air are further improved on with her skills. The first skill is called Best Sister. Yes, I'm sorry. This I never bothered leveling this up because my Indianapolis was very low level. I didn't really use Indianapolis a lot, so that's why I didn't bother leveling up this skill. And now I kind of regret it. Okay, so what is this skill? When sorted with Indianapolis, increases the ship's firepower, anti-air, and reload by a total of 15% at max level. Wait, let me just double check. Yes, it is 15%. Okay. Yes, so the max increase will be by 15%. So yeah, sure, her firepower and reload is not the best stat, but that anti-air buff is really good, and it works really well since her anti-air stat and her anti-air efficiency is high. Now, moving on to the next skill, and it's called Defense Order. Every 20 seconds, 25% chance to decrease the damage your entire fleet takes by 15% for 8 seconds. This does not stack with the same skill. Now, based on experience, this skill rarely activates, so I won't 100% rely on that slim chance on it activating. But when it does, it reduces the damage that your entire fleet takes, and that is really nice. So if you are in need of a heavy cruiser as a transition or even a main heavy cruiser to use in your fleet, you should really consider retrofitting Portland. Alright, so the next retrofit that I want to talk about is Shoho retrofit. So are you looking for a solid healer that can deal aviation damage? Then Shoho's your girl. So compared to the other aviation healers like Ryoho, Perseus and Unicorn, Shoho's aviation stat is the highest. So not only can she heal your units, she can also deal way more damage than the other healer carriers. Additionally, she's way easier to get than the other carriers because she's obtainable from chapters 2.2, 2.3 and 2.4. She also does gain a new skill after retrofit, and it's called Air Support. When this ship launches an airstrike, increases the aviation of all carriers in your fleet, excluding this ship, by a total of 15% at max level for 8 seconds. So yeah, this skill is really good because that increase in aviation for your other carriers is no joke. It is also not faction specific, so other carriers like Essex and Enterprise can really benefit from this skill. So not only can Shoho heal and deal damage, she can also buff your other carriers, and that is super awesome. Alright, this last retrofit is probably the one that took me by surprise, and it's Shigure retrofit. So yes, before her retrofit, she was just another torpedo ship that can never be as great as Ayanami. But oh boy, wait till you retrofit her. So her first skill is called Shigure of Sasebo. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry if I butchered it. But anyway, this skill, whenever this ship fires its main gun, 5% chance to increase this ship's evasion by a total of 60% for 8 seconds at max level. Now this skill was a major turn off before she got her retrofit because as a destroyer, I want to deal torpedo damage. So I prefer to have the same gimmick but buffing my torpedo stat like Ayanami's skill. And this is also her only skill, which was why I don't use Shigure a lot. But everything changed when she gained a new skill after retrofit, and it's called Rain and Snow. So there's two parts to this. So the first part, if Yukikaze is afloat in your fleet at the start of the battle, activates the following buff. Increases this ship's torpedo by 15% and has a 70% chance to fire a powerful barrage every 20 seconds. So yeah, when paired with Yukikaze, her torpedo stat is increased, and she does gain a new barrage that fires 6 torpedoes in a straight line along with some gunshots. Now this may seem like a typical torpedo barrage, but have you seen her torpedo stat? It is the highest among all of the destroyers in the game so far. She also does gain a 165% torpedo efficiency after retrofit. So her already insanely high torpedo stat, along with her buff and barrage when paired with Yukikaze, makes her a torpedo god. Remember her first skill? Now this is where the first skill becomes a bonus. So the concept of using a fast firing gun to activate Ayanami's first skill more often applies here. But in this case, it's Shigure's evasion, and that 60% boost is a lot. Now, the second part to Rain and Snow is if Yukikaze is not in your fleet, as long as Shigure is afloat, decreases the damage your ship, excluding her, take by 5%. And once per battle, when the HP of another ship in your fleet falls below 20%, restores 10% of said ship's max HP. So, if Yukikaze is not in the fleet, Shigure becomes a support and a healer. So yeah, even though she doesn't gain the torpedo stat increase and the barrage, her already high torpedo stat is good enough to deal massive damage on her own. So yes, in short, Shigure has high survivability, can deal insane torpedo damage, and has the option to either boost that damage output or become a support. So yeah, this is what blew my mind because of how versatile Shigure can be. Now, I'm not saying Ayanami is worse than Shigure, because honestly, Ayanami is one of the best retrofits out there. All I'm saying is that you don't just simply think Ayanami is the only torpedo god in this game. Okay, so here are all of my thoughts and opinions about some of the more notable retrofits that I enjoy using, and also for y'all to keep a lookout for. Granted, I'm pretty sure there are other retrofits out there apart from the more obvious ones like the starters and the ultra rare ships. So if there are any other retrofits that I didn't mention, do share them in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do leave a like if you guys did, subscribe for more awesome content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.